We are back for the Sunday League Extra London Cup final preview, and I am joined today by Baiteze assistant manager Jamie Legett and the head coach of Grand Athletic, Coach AHMET. I'll go straight to Jamie. Last time I spoke to you for the semi-final, you were very relaxed. You said the boys were very relaxed, so you just kind of, it's the same sort of thing, even though it's the one now, it's the big game, but you're still quite level.
But you can overhype these things, can't you? And then pressure starts getting on to people and stuff like that. So not really. We're going to just take it. We know Grand are a good side. They wouldn't be there if they weren't a good side. They've beaten some good sides along the way. We've beaten some good sides along the way. We both deserve to be there. I've got utmost respect for what they're doing over there and what they're building. I've known Ahmed for many, many years. So I know he's going to have him tactically and mentally ready.
There's a little smile there as well. Did you see that little smile from him? He's like, yep.
me and Justin will have the same. Listen, I've got utmost respect for, as I say, for Ahmed and Grand and Jordan and Vinny and the rest of the lads there. They're building something really good as well.
I think you both have had very tough games on the way, a lot of tough games. And I think it's the right two teams in the final, if I'm being honest. It's the two teams what are there, so you're the right teams. You should be there. Same for you, Ahmet. How are you feeling and the boys feeling for the final? 48 hours to go. Any nerves, or are you feeling fairly relaxed?
Yeah, no, feeling good. Do you know what? I'd be lying if I said nerves. I think nerves are good. You know what I mean? It kind of keeps you on your toes, kind of keeps you prepared for the occasion. But like Jamie said, you've got to enjoy it. You know, we've worked extremely hard. The players, management, committee, you know, the to help with the recordings, to everyone that's involved in the team and the clubs, like the guys that you don't normally see, you know, the guys that are not doing the podcast, like all these guys have worked towards, you know, the objective was to, you know, go as far as we can in the London Cup, you know, and we're happy to be that we're in the final and we feel that it's well deserved. And same like Mile End, you know, both of us have done really well to get there this year. You know, when it gets to the later stages of the competition, the game's always tough, isn't it? And I was there Wednesday, and it was could have went either way. It was a tough game. Same with our semi-final. You know, in the rounds leading up to the semi-final, we've had a tough draw, and I think both teams have overcome that really well. So I think we've got to look forward to the occasion, and hopefully it's a spectacle.
How do you, and I'm sure you both know I have to ask, how do you both feel about the venue and the pitch?
Do you know what? Like, obviously, like after, you know, Jamie and Justin's success of, you know, getting through to the final, I thought that was a bit harsh, obviously, you know, talking about it then. I'm not sure how much Mile End got to kind of enjoy, you know.
It was all a bit raw, wasn't it? I think it was very raw.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of, Jamie agree. I kind of came over the later parts, didn't I, Jamie? I was kind of just, when I was talking to Teo, I used to work with Teo at Moseley, so I know him really well. And then Jamie's kind of giving me like, you know, over here type of thing. And those boys just tried to organise where to get the game. I don't think it was as stressful as it looked. But everyone wanted to be fair to each other. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, Mile End are coming from where they are, Grand from where they are. And we had to try and find the middle ground.
Middle ground.
Me, yeah. If I'm honest, as much as I'd like it to play, you know, when I say better facility, I mean in terms of a bigger ground to allow more people to kind of have the opportunity to maybe sit down and watch the game. But you know, standing's fine. You know that's old school. We used to go and watch a game, and then everyone would be happy watching the game that way. So I was probably one of the ones that said that when we found it difficult to kind of find that, and I was like, you know what, like let's just play it here. Do you know what I mean? Mile End really well to get there in the semi-finals. You know, from where they're coming. Us the same as well against Brixton. You know, if we have the opportunity to go anywhere else, then, you know, it has to be there. And I think it's fine.
And I think you're kind of alluding to what I was thinking as well. Before I go over and ask Jamie for his thoughts on the pitch and the venue, it's the same for both of you, isn't it, really? It's the same for both teams. You both got to play on there. There's no advantage to anyone, is there, really?
No, not all. No. At the end of the day, like I said, I haven't haven't really seen much of Milan. I know the semi-final that Milan played, that isn't. I know that's not the complete Milan. You know, I mean, I know they're going to add a lot more quality to what they have. You know, I would have rather that they had an absolute storm. So I'm going away, and I've got a lot more to kind of work from. You know what I mean? Sort of care, but that isn't to say that they didn't have a good game. It was just one of those semi-finals. It could have went either way.
Obviously, the few bits and pieces I saw, their semi-final did look as well as yours, actually. It could have, as you alluded to, it could have gone either way, both games, really. As I said, I think it's the two right teams in the final, to be honest. How do you feel about the pitch and the venue, Jamie? I know you've had to put up with a few choice words on Twitter in the last week, to put it mildly.
I don't really care what they have to say. We're in the final, Grand are in the final. If both teams are happy, as Ahmed said, we're both in the final. They've got to come and pay and watch us. So it is. The fact of the matter is, as you said, we both deserve to be there. We both battled hard, and we both deserve to have our occasion and enjoy it. And I didn't want people to dampen it for us or Grand, so maybe that's why I took it personal at first. But now I've digested it. I don't really care what I have to say, if I'm perfectly honest. I just want to focus on the final now.
It's not going to change. It's there. You've got to get the boys ready. Same for AHMET and Grand.
It is what
to be ready for the game.
It is what it is.
The final's in 2 days. It is where it is. There's two great teams playing on it. It's going to be a good game. No matter what happens, it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good watch. I suppose this is kind of aimed at both of you, really. What kind of sense of pride have you got for this kind of being effectively... Well, AHMET, it's your first season at Grand. It's definitely their first season, and it's yours at Mile End as well, and a lot of players. What kind of sense of pride have you both got for how well you've both done? You've won your respected leagues. You're in the final of the London Cup, or is it obviously it's 48 hours till the final? You don't really want to be sitting there thinking about how well you've done until after the final. Is it more that case, or
the last 5 years we've won the Later League? That makes us the best team in the East and East London. We've had to travel in every one this season to play our games in the London Cup. So we've had to go to North, we've had to go to West, we've had to go South. So we're very, very proud with how we've performed this season. We haven't lost a game this season. I know obviously Grand lost one on the opening day, and that's it. So you can't knock the two records. Like, the fact of the matter is, two new sides come together.
It's amazing.
And that's what I think, touching on it, how much I respect what they're doing at Grand, because that's no mean feat. Like, we look at the teams what have been in the Met League the last 2 years. Lambeth didn't do that. They won the London Cup. They didn't win the Met League. Okay, yeah, it might have stopped or whatever. I can't remember. But they didn't win every single game. And obviously they're a great side. I respect everything Winge and that do. And one of us is going to take over the route, obviously, as Kings of London this season. So I can't think of a better team to take over from. You know, Lambeth, they're unbelievable what they do over there. So I'm extremely proud. Hopefully, obviously, all the lads are really proud. I think most of the lads are now, obviously, 48 hours before the game, they're focused on that. But back at the end of the season, we'd be very proud with the league win, but both of us are going for a double. And I guarantee you, on the night, both of us are worried about that. I'm winning a double. And if whoever comes out as the losers, unfortunately, I think they're going to be a bit disappointed. I think they're going to be disappointed. Will they be disappointed about the season? Maybe, because we're there now. Both of us are there. And we both are hungry to win that London Cup.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. Going over to you, AHMET, are you kind of at that point where you are able to sit back and think, wow, this is our first season, we've won the Met League by a canter, really. You've kind of walked it as well towards the end. You've just gone further and further away from everyone else. Are you there where you can sit and think, wow, what a great season? Or are you kind of thinking, I just want to get Wednesday out the way and then I'm going to sit and reflect?
I think it's the latter, yeah. I think as much as you pride in winning the league, whether it's at a canter, you know, in terms of points difference, you want to win everything. You know, I'm a winner. You know, winners want to win everything, isn't it? You know, sometimes we're bad losers. Like,
it's that mentality, isn't it?
Like, yeah, like winners take things seriously. You know, leadership, in everything they do, you want to prepare, you want to be the best, and in everything I want to do as an aspiring manager, you know, who wants to work in the professional game. These things like this, these are the things that you put in your CV. You know what I mean? No matter what level of football it is, whether it be Saturday, Sunday, you want to put you've won the London Cup or you've won the double on your CV. So as Jamie said, I would be disappointed, and I'm sure, you know, Mylen would be as well if they lose. You know, if you're there in the final, you're there to win the cup, aren't you? You know, this is every game we've played this season has always been about the next game. And I know that's a cliche, like in terms of move on to the next one. But it has to be, because we're a new side, and we knew as a season developed and progressed, there's going to be teams that are going to maybe trying that little bit harder to stop us from winning the league, especially a new team that's into the league for the first season. Yeah. So everything that we've done, or most of my team talks that you would hear or see, was always about the next game. Can we be better? Respect the opposition. How are we going to win the next match? Let's move on to the next round now. And definitely one game at a time. And listen, there's a lot of pride at stake. You know what I mean? Me and Jake have known each other for years.
I noticed that from you as well, going back to the one game at a time thing. Obviously, watching your, I think it was on the Instagram story for Grand, actually, I saw it. It was obviously after the Dons game. You were very, everyone was very excitable. You were obviously very pleased, you just beat SE Dons. But you were very okay, right, we have won that game, but let's calm down. There's still a lot to go for the rest of the season. There's a lot of big games to come up. And I felt like you were kind of as I suppose you should be as the manager, you were sort of the voice of reason, because that was a very excitable dressing room at that time. It's a huge achievement to beat SE Dons in any game, really, if it's a friendly, but especially in a London Cup quarter-final. It's a huge, because I know how much they wanted that as well this year as well. And it wasn't as though you got lucky on the night and you took your chances. You were the better team. Yeah. And even they put their hands up and said they were actually the better team.
No, utmost respect to SE Dons and Junior and the management there. Everything they said leading up to the game, whether it be teams during the game or after the game, you know, they've been very, very respectful. And I'm the same. You can't expect everyone to be the same, but, you know, if you win a match, whether it be by the quality that you've done on the day and your performance, you know, my mentality is that we move on to next. Can we be better? What did we do in that game that helped us to win that match? Can we be better next match? Yeah. What didn't we do well, so we can, you know, be the next match? And performance-wise, again, if we win a game and we're a little bit key, you know, definitely we have to reflect and be better. That Brixton game was a tough semi-final.
Yes,
tough semi-final. Tough. I was there during the first half, and I was thinking our team have to perform a lot better than that. But Brixton done a job on us the first half. And what I was proud about our players, or my players, and obviously, you know, the team, was how we overcame that. It's not easy to overcome a game where sometimes you're on the ropes, because mentality-wise, some players will start hiding. Half we turned up, and I thought we stabilised the game and we controlled the game a lot more. And definitely Brixton probably tired a little as well, if I'm honest. And then, you know, to score a goal like that.
What a goal
from Razak Coleman.
He was one that stood out for me in the quarterfinal against SE Dons as well. I just thought he was everywhere in that game. His work rate was unbelievable. He was just up and down the whole game.
Yeah. He was, and everyone was. You know, we spoke in the lead up before going out. You know.
Yeah.
And it was the whole team. It was a collective.
It was that press, wasn't it? Everyone just pressing, putting Dons under pressure all over the pitch. Yeah.
You know what, Ricky? It's honest work. If you're not willing to do honest work, and I've said it from day one, I came to Grand, and, you know, we sat down and spoke about doing this. I said, if we're not to be honest and demonstrating that positive attitude, we're not going to win things. You can't just make it up. It doesn't happen like that. We are where we are because we demonstrated that honesty.
Because you're turning up.
That positive attitude all season.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure it's the same with Thailand as well.
100%. Now, it's my favourite time of the previews. I get to turn into a bit of a fanboy and I want to talk about some of your players. So I'm going to go over to Jamie. One player who from what I see, obviously I only see the highlights, so I don't see the whole 90 minutes. But one player that always stands out for me, for you, when he plays, he just looks like he's a class apart, Kiz. And I feel like he's a big game player as well. Like, he really turned up in that Hammersmith game and he really turned up in that semi-final as well. Talk to me about Kiz. How important is Kiz?
To be fair, I think if we talk about players, obviously, yeah, we talk about Kiz. He's a heartbeat. He's not only a player, he's actually our coach as well.
He's the coach as well, isn't he? Of course,
it's hard to think. Yeah. So he actually obviously inputs with tactical side. Obviously, he's also reserve team manager and played as well at hashtag as well this season where they went up. So he's got a wealth of knowledge as well. Obviously he's in the game, obviously with being an ex-pro. So he actually stabilises a lot of our play. A lot of our play goes through it. He controls the tempo when we need to control the tempo. Yeah. I might be saying stuff what Ahmed already knows anyway, but I'm sure he watched in the semi-finals and he was a key thing of dictating our play when we needed to play. When we need to slow the game down and game management at time, he controlled it. So to be fair to him, yeah, he's one of our key players, but we have many key players, and I think Ahmed would echo that when watching our game, and also our echo. They've got a lot of talent as well. So just going back to the point, I just wanted to say something as well on. Obviously, everyone looks at the result against SC Don, yeah. Okay, for grand. I echo what Arman said. I give him the utmost respect of that semi-final result because I'm being honest, I think everyone thought Grand are going to roll over Brixton. And Brixton actually turned up. They turned up for, and as Armin turned around and said, like, they could have gone behind, but they didn't take their chances. And the way and the tactical know of like Ahmed and George and Vinny and their management actually helped him in the second half, get them back in. And also, as he touched on, the honest work, what they put in the second half, and then a bit of quality got them through, obviously, from the shot, etc. Everyone looks at the SE Dons result because it's SE Dons.
Yeah.
But I think it was more impressive, as Armin said, that semi-final performance and result, especially in the second. So I'd like them to have that respect for that, not just the SE Dons because they're SE Dons. I love SE Dons. I know a lot of them. So everyone's going to look at that result because it's a massive result. But then Brixton beat Hatcham, which was a massive result. Can I also echo that a lot of people don't look at our results? Yeah, we had to go to the Rock. And I feel like it's been a bit, maybe not from Ahmed or Grand, but from a lot of other people, they've not seen our results.
Beating Hammersmith, sorry to interrupt you, mate, because I want to really talk about the Hammersmith, because Hammersmith, I don't think a lot of people realise how good Hammersmith are, because...
Of course they don't.
They have a couple of really good teams in their league who always do well in the National Cup, and Hammersmith have been beating teams 10-0 plus in their league this season. They've won all the domestic cups in their league.
They beat Under the Radar in the last time. Yes, Under the Radar just went invincibles in the Woolwich and Eltham League. Whatever standards you're at, doesn't make any difference. They didn't lose a game all season. Yeah, that's the only game they've lost all season to Hammersmith. And I feel, no offence, I know I'm ranting on here a little bit, and it'll give
away,
you
mate.
content.
I don't mind. You rant on.
Care. But I feel like our results against Hammersmith and Kenningwell have been downplayed. And I think it's a bit disrespectful if I'm being...
Listen, they've been around for 50-odd years, Kenningwell. Anyone that turns up that beats Kenningwell in any competition, that's a great result. Because year after year, Kenningwell put out a very good team, year after year. And they beat SE Dons 3-0 at the weekend. So...
Was that the game?
That's a very good result.
So, I just feel it's been downplayed a little bit because it's not SE Dons. And no disrespect to SE Dons. and Ahmed will probably echo and show respect in a minute, because I know how much of a respectful man he is. But our results, I think, have been downplayed. And I know we like to play the underdogs and everything like that. I'm still getting messed now, and we'll take that underdog role if you want, because of the team, because of the teams Ahmed and Grand have beat. That's fine. We haven't got a problem with that. We keep on doing that, and as we say, we keep on shocking people. But I just like a little bit more respect on our name if we win this season. I don't think it's come. I think because Grand have beaten Brixton and SE Dons, and that's no disrespect to you, our Grand, because they're great results, don't get me wrong, but it's more publicised.
But yours are there as well. No, I get you. Beating Hammersmith, as I said, Hammersmith have destroyed pretty much everyone they've played this season. No, that's a great result. And as I said, I'll say it again, any team that beats Kenilworth is a good team, because they're always a good side, Kenilworth. They're always competitive.
Of course.
I'm going to turn into a bit of a fanboy for Ahmed now, because I want to talk about Dembele, who is, I spoke to, I'm going to go back to SE Dons very briefly as well, because I spoke to Joe Denny at SE Dons after they played against you, like a couple of days afterwards. And he said to me, Dembele is the best centre forward he's played against for as long as he can remember. And that's Saturday and Sunday football. He said he's very good. How important is he to you?
Yeah, very important. He's leading the line. Main striker. So in terms of, I could be wrong. I think he's our top goal scorer. So I know
he does it all though, doesn't he? Like, he can hold it up. He can go in behind. I feel like he's got it all in his locker as well.
He's got so much potential. And I'm always honest with the players. I'm going to speak about how good he is in terms of his goal scoring, his touch, in terms of his physicality. I think that can improve. I think it could have been better in game, and I've been honest with him. But because he leads the line, you kind of look into him to do more. You're always looking for him to do more. And he's been absolutely brilliant. Finley brought him in terms of having a chat with him. And ever since he's come in, I think the opening game he scored either 1 or 2 goals. He's a threat. And in terms of what Joe Denny said, that's credit well deserved in terms of his performances, and he's going to be a threat. And I'm sure Jamie and Mylan will be aware of that. Like, as Jamie said, both set of teams are going to have a lot of players that we're going to watch out for. And there's a lot of match winners there. But no, he's been absolutely amazing. And the name's he's got a great surname.
It's an amazing surname. I didn't think it was real to start with. I was trying to find out what his real surname was.
I think with names like that, you start doing Google search, start thinking, is he related to any of the Dembele's? You have to be good with a surname like that, don't you? You've got to be good. It's kind of the same for both of you. Like, I'm singling out a couple of players from your squads, but to be perfectly honest, I could sit here for an hour and speak about everyone in both of your squads.
You can't. I'm being. We've both got a show, as Armin Sermon said, to every single player in that squad, in that 16, because it might be a person who we don't identify, who comes off that and changes the game. So we've got to be both on. Yeah, we've both got to be on our mettle. And both be 100% focused for that whole 90 minutes, 120 minutes, whatever it needs to be, because I believe on both sides, if you switch off for 1 second, we're both going to get punished.
I think that's an excellent point Jamie made. That it's not just an 11. It's not just those individuals that we've spoken about. It's a collective unit, and I think that's what's helped us this season. When it's down to winning the league matches and playing double headers, and it's not just picking the bare minimum. We've been picking, big squads throughout the season, because it's a family. For us, it's a family, the grand family, as we call it. Everyone has been part of the bigger picture, winning the league, going as far as we can as in the London Cup, and hopefully successfully lifting the trophy.
It's a squad game, isn't it? As you said, as you both alluded to, it's a squad game. And when you're getting to where you've got in the London Cup and you've won your leagues, it's not only on the 2 or 3 star players, shall we say, it's the whole 15, 16 players in the squad. Just to kind of back up what you both said, for you, Ahmet, your double header, I think it was Brixton, Very tough double header in the league, and it was George that come on who got the equaliser. He's a brilliant character. Love him on the commentary. He's brilliant.
He's a great character. He's great through and through, along with Javan, Vinny, and the rest of us. There's a lot of guys that I could talk about.
Some big personalities. You got on your Cads is great. I could talk about Cads all day. To be honest, I think he's brilliant.
George, it was just excellent that he's come on and he's got an equaliser. It was a tough game, like both games. It was tough games. It didn't. That game didn't deserve to be played at Mottingham playing fields. I think if it was played anywhere else, then we might have seen a lot more from both teams, especially from what we got Brixton in the semi-final. I know that was and there was an opportunity to get into the final, but just tight. If we didn't score the equaliser, then they win 1-0, we win 1-0. So both share 3 points, and then you never know what happens after that in the league. But fortunately for us, we got the 4 points, and that gave us a little bit of a breathing space.
It was a nice cushion, wasn't it? Yeah, absolutely. Going over to you, Jamie. Obviously, we've spoke about you're feeling fine for the final. There's not a lot of nerves. You and the boys are feeling good. Hand on your heart now. How does the final go?
It's got to be about taking chances. If people get chances, we take them. If their grand get their chances, they need to take them. We need to be defensively and tactically aware. I'm sure teams will be. I've known Ahmed, as I said, for many years. I know he's going to be tactically aware. Hopefully he respects me and he knows I'm tactically aware as well. I think it's how the players take on the information throughout the game as well. And I think it'd be an interesting game. I think it'd be one of them. If it does open up, it might be that one of us take an early lead. One of us, it may open up, but I don't see an early goal unless it's a mistake. Maybe going into the second half, it may change. I know they like to start with a high tempo, especially when I watched them against SE Dons. Maybe not in the Brixton game, but that's the semi-final, as I alluded to. Hopefully, he's going to hope they're going to start fast. We're going to hopefully start fast. And the best team obviously wins on the day. I'll ask you the question. How do you think it's going, Ricky?
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to AHMET first. I'm going to go to AHMET first, and then I'm going to answer.
He's put it on you there, Ricky. He ain't having it. All right. No, yeah.
I don't want him to sit on the fence, though, Arms.
Who's that? Ricky, yeah.
I don't want Ricky to sit on the fence.
No, fair enough. No, listen, sometimes there's a lot of that, yeah. But splitting and all sorts. But no, listen, it's going to be a tense game. It's going to be a tense game. And I think, listen, like any of these games, like any games that we watch on TV, you've got to take your chances. As much as I talk about some of the difficulties that we had in the Brixton game first half, we had a lot of good chances as well. But it was just that Brixton put us under a lot of pressure for maybe large periods in that first half. In periods in the half, we had at least 2-3, maybe 1v1s. Now, put those chances away, you could be going in the half-time 2-0. I think if you take your chances in this type of game, it's going to give the team a lot of confidence and it's going to make it hard for the other team to come back in the game. Concentration, because it's going to be a massive thing. As Jamie said, 90 minutes, 120 minutes. It's going to have to be all the way through. Every little single thing, throw on set pieces, getting back into shape, recovering, pressing. All things football. We're going to look to start quick. I'm confident in the attacking players that we've got. If we can get them on the ball and they can cause problems, I'm confident we can get the win. But it's going to be easy.
I suppose it's time I've got to do my prediction now.
How comes your camera and your things going on now?
Sorry. Sorry, I didn't even realise the reception was going. Sorry. That didn't work, did it? Oh no.
I want to add, obviously, that we're extremely proud, of being the only side outside of South London. Any of the London competitions to be in the final. A lot of obviously North, South, and we won't talk about the East team. We had to clear up their mess. Yeah, so we're proud to be the best team in East London, and obviously, we're confident as well that we can go on it and hopefully be the Kings of London. like they're going to be confident that they're going to be the Kings of London. So now I'll pass it over to you, Rick, and tell me how.
I thought you'd forgotten about it. I'm gonna half sit on the fence. I have to. I'm gonna say it's 1-1. I think it's going to be 1-1 in the 90 minutes, and it's going to go extra time. And then after that, it's up to the footballing gods after that.
So you're going to sit on the fence like that?
I'm sitting on the fence.
Listen, a lot of people have said a lot of the results this season. The fact of the matter is, everyone had SE Dons to beat Grand. Let's be honest, everyone had Hatcham to beat Brixton. Everyone had Hammersmith to beat us. They probably backed against us against semi-final against Kenningwell. Probably didn't back against Grand. Everyone's back. I know people are backing because I've had messages saying Grand are going to beat you. That's fine. It's not a problem. We've said it all along. We keep on saying that, and then we'll see what happens. And it is what it is. Yeah. It is what it is, and I take that underdog. Sorry, we're taking it because you beat the high-profile teams, mate. So all good on Wednesday night.
Listen, I came into Grand. I didn't really know much about Sunday football. I'll be honest with you. In terms of aspirations and stuff, you always look into the semi-pro and the football. As much as you see things out there on social media and stuff like that, it's only as Grand have started to progress through the season that you start to get a little bit more involved. So I don't buy into the hype about who we beat. Hence why, as you've seen in the team talks before, AC Dons are Dons. Every game is going to be different.
It is what it is.
Every game presents a different challenge.
Yeah.
Now, this is the final. Both teams obviously want to win that final. Just like Jamie said, and I echo the words that you said, we're proud. We're proud to be there. This means everything to us. And someone who loses on the day will be disappointed. But we're not going to just let that happen. We're going to do everything we can do, to try and win that cup final. And we're confident we can do that. But, again, we respect Milan Baiteze. It's going to be a tough game. Hopefully, it's going to be a celebration. Hopefully, that's a celebration for us.
Years, and it was the same as what I said to Junior at the end of the thing. For 90 minutes or 120 minutes, we ain't no mates, Ahmed. We know that. Yeah. The fact of the matter is, we're both going to war. After the game, we'll speak and we'll shake hands, and whoever wins the night, they deserve it. Simple as that. I don't care about this, he was lucky or this was lucky. It's not about luck. If you score weldy and you've been battered for the whole game, I don't care. It's about getting the job done. Simple as. And both of us, doesn't matter to get the job done. We both want that job done on Wednesday night. And I echo what Ahmed said. I believe we're going to do it. He believes what we're going to do it. Let's wait and see on Wednesday night.
See what happens on Wednesday. Well, I couldn't think of a better way to end it, gentlemen, if I'm being honest. I just want to, obviously, I know I've sat on the fence, but I want to wish you both all the best for Wednesday and all the players. And I guess may the best team win.
Thank you, Ricky, obviously, and you're fresh, obviously, promoting it as well. Jamal at the London FA, he's got a lot of stick over the last few days from different people, etc. I think I'll respect it as well and say that it's been a hard work for him the last few days and over COVID as well to get these competitions, not only cup competitions, but in general, the cups, and get them all finished. Because a lot of other cups have been cancelled. A lot of leagues have been null and void. I'd say for Jamal and London FA, well done on getting it on as well and dusted. And as Armin just turned around and said, hopefully it's a spectacle on Wednesday night.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Ricky. And obviously you're fresh for invite myself and obviously Jamie as well. And and then everything he said towards Jamal and the guys that organised the competition. These things wouldn't take place if those guys are not putting it behind a closed door. So we have to respect that. Sometimes in life, you don't always get the way that you want, and you've got to overcome that and do things with honesty and a positive attitude, and just always try and be respectful. That's a big thing for me, and I know it's the same for Jamie. I think the last thing I'll probably say is that, especially with what's been happening recently with football and the Euros with Brits and these, just kind of put things into perspective. Like life is too short. So I just wish players on the day, both squads, management, spectators, it has to be a positive atmosphere.
Enjoy it.
Enjoy it, celebrate it. The best team is obviously going to win on the day. You know, whether they were the best team in terms of performance, it doesn't matter. Whoever wins the trophy deserves to win that trophy. But 100%. It has to be a positive atmosphere. So everyone coming on the day, enjoy it.
Well, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. I know it's a bit late and it is 48 hours till the game, so I appreciate you giving up, what's it been, half an hour or so of your time? I appreciate it. It means a lot. And we will get the preview out, I think, tomorrow evening, probably early evening, I think. So it'll have a day to build up all the excitement for the final, hopefully. But all the best for the final, both of you. And I'll speak to you soon.